Frankly, give a damn. You know what it is. It's your guy, Rhett Butler. Stop being slow. You see the link underneath? DM us to get your studio on. You see what we doing. Oh, and by the way, if you want to sit in that hot seat, the infinity chair, hit that DM too. We doing stuff with the artists with Kiana Clark. Or pretty soon, the Stew podcast is coming, and that's going to be a whole nother wave. But you won't know nothing about that. We're going to get there. But listen, you know I always got the best guests, and today's no different. Known this man for a long time. And every time you see the God looking shaped up and all that goodness, man, this is the guy. But not just for me, for tons of people that you know on film and TV, that rhymed, as well as people you see on the street and just be like, damn, who cut you? Well, if you wasn't brave enough to ask, I brought him to you, introducing my man, known to some and known to many as well, Marvin Church, the owner of Marvin Church Grooming. What's up, big dog?
What's good, baby?
Bow. In the game. First of all, this isn't even going to be a quote-unquote podcast because you're my man, so we're just going to chop it up as usual. But for those who don't know, because we like to give people, you already slow, who don't know, who are you, what do you do, and then we can get into where you're from and all that good stuff.
All right. So my name is Marvin Church. I am the founder of Marv the Barb, Inc.,
There we go.
Marvin Church Grooming, LLC.
Hey.
And I am the founder of Marvin Church Grooming Products, or Essentials, if you want to say.
So that's 3 businesses if you wasn't catching up. I'm sure there's more.
Yes, there is. But we're not going to go into that. I'm also a celebrity master groomer, A-list stars, some people that you might have seen from the past to the present, and some that's coming in the future, quite sure. And also, I'm known as an hair architect. That's a new one they put on me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all ain't even know about these titles. Your man just put you on real game. Fake ass barber. But listen, so you know I talk my shit. But nah, seriously. So where you from? How'd you get in the game? I mean, first of all, for those who don't know, the barbershop is the cornerstone of the community. I'm not gonna just say the black community or the melanated community. I'm gonna say the community.
Yeah.
But how did you get started? Why did you get started? You know, talk about it. And also, by the way, he's an artist. See, creative economy is not just people that paint and do other things that are more gallery-based art.
That's right.
What you're doing is wearable art. But go ahead, boss. I'm speaking his stuff into existence for him. Go ahead.
Well, so, you know, growing up, I grew up in like you want to say, the country, right? So I was on the Delmar Peninsula. Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia meet. I was maybe 2 miles from the Mason-Dixon line.
Yo, that's crazy.
Okay, so grew up on like 40-some acres, 1 acre, 40-some acres of my grandfather's.
So did you get your 40 acres of the mule?
No, we had over 100 acres.
Damn, you got my joint.
So and a graveyard. Yeah, true. But no, so growing up there, you know, also we're gonna go back to that, but I just want to say I grew up in this area, small town, a lot of gifts, but also had outreach to the cities where I had family at. Grew up there, went to school, elementary school, high school, junior high school.
Right.
I went away from there a little bit.
I mean, so this is technically known as the Eastern Shore for people who don't understand the names of the towns.
Delmar, then Salisbury, that's all connected. And you have Laurel as well as Delaware. But all in those 3 areas, I was mainly,
and Salisbury is very well known from rap music.
Yeah,
and different things going on.
We call it crackberry, or what they call it, strongberry now.
Okay, I like strongberry.
Yeah, strongberry. That's shout out to B Rhymes. But what I want to say was that I honed my craft. You know, it gave me time to hone my craft. I didn't have a lot of distractions per se. Like I would think, you know, when I would go to the cities, my cousins in West Philly and different areas like that, didn't have a lot of distractions where people could be like, you know, messing with you, like, hey, what are you doing? So things that I was doing that might seem funny to someone else, you know, from teaching myself how to draw just by, you know, tracing over the covers of magazines, the letters, excuse me, the letters and stuff of magazines. Here we go. So that's the way I taught myself left hand, right hand, how to draw, right? Just by doing those angles and stuff like that. Let me move the mic up. And so just with that, you know, you could be considered either a genius or weird, right?
Right.
But I didn't see, I just doing me, right?
Right.
Grew up the youngest of 5.
Okay.
And the youngest of 29 first cousins on my dad's side.
Wow.
And maybe the third on my, or 32 on my mother's side.
Wow.
But I'm gonna hold this for a second.
Yeah.
But having the biggest thing I always say to my cousins now, the ones that's still alive, because there's some that passed, was that I was fortunate, even though I'm the youngest, right? I was fortunate to grow up with pretty much all my first cousins.
Okay.
And to see them, you know what I mean? Even though someone may not be here now, but to see that. So I had a lot of different like personalities, a lot of different types of variation of people to deal with. Just, you know, even though I was getting teased, it didn't really bother me.
Because you was the baby of the family,
yeah,
basically. That's
he was getting teased, and it didn't really bother me. You know, just basically, I was more focused on doing what I'm doing anyway. So,
right.
You know, I just took that as like everyday
So
thing.
you said
right?
doing what you was doing, so you was a focused youngster.
Yeah, I mean, but I put it like this, and something in the back of my mind was like, I had to make this count, and it was something to do with. I'm thinking now, it was something to do with how close my sister and I.
Okay.
Angel, right? So she's 5 years older than me.
Shout out to Angel, the homie.
Yeah. Well, okay, little Angel. But
That's the homie.
Yeah, I was gonna say her nickname, but
Oh, okay. I didn't even know she had a nickname.
Yeah, my mother used to call her Teeny Tiny Angel. But anyway,
okay.
Because she's short. She was short.
Right.
But because she was 5 years older than me, so that was a big gap.
Yeah, hell
To
yeah.
have another kid.
That's a
you know
whole
what I
high
mean?
school.
Yeah.
Plus a year.
Yeah, well, my dad,
Right.
you know, I think back now, my dad was 31 when he had me, 31, 32. I was the same age when I had my son.
Oh, I was going to say, that's the same age when I had my son.
Yeah. So, but if you think
Yeah.
they start early,
Yeah, they did.
they've
So.
been married over 60-some years.
Right.
Now. So they start 21, 22.
Yo, shout out to that, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, my parents been married about
Edward
that long,
Beveling
too.
Church. Yeah, Edward Beveling Church.
Yo, wait. Do you know what's so crazy? So my parents been married 50-something, almost 60 years.
Yeah.
My father's name is Edward, too.
Yeah, I know. They call him Booty.
I had my, they just we call him Eddie.
That's kind of like, okay, Eddie's,
Eddie
Eddie's
or
another
Ed.
name. Yeah, that's city. That's city name.
that's
Country
it,
name
yeah,
Bodie. It's
yeah.
Booty and Bodie.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so,
then I had my son at 31, too.
yeah, so it's kind of
Side
like,
note, man, I didn't even put all of these things together. I know you mad long.
well, the numbers, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I started to think, I got to make this count, right?
Yeah.
And I got to be even better than who was before me. My oldest brother was 10 years older than me.
Right.
And then the sisters, 8, another brother, 7. So it went boy, girl, then
Boy.
right? And so I had
That's
to make
crazy.
it.
That's almost like they planned that.
I know, but they didn't.
That's crazy.
Jokingly, my mother said, "Oh, you know, after the first 2, and it was like, you know." But back then, they didn't have what they have now. You know,
Right.
checking and see if you're
Right.
pregnant. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just, whoop,
Oh,
you are pregnant.
right.
Yeah. So,
That's wild.
but I could say that gap gave me also ability to do things that I didn't have to be coached by other people. Like, let's say, like, if you grew up with someone like my cousin next door, Eric, like he was 2 years older than me, so that was like a brother
Right.
that I had. You know what I mean? It was closer in my age. But my other brother, my real brothers, they actually grew up together.
Yeah.
You know, they're 3 years apart.
Right.
So they were fighting and playing basketball. You know,
Yeah.
so they grew up together.
Yeah.
I didn't have that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I had my cousin next door, but he wasn't in my house.
My little sister grew up like this.
Like
Me and
that.
my sister 10 years apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
She's
a big
10 years
gap.
younger than me, and then my brother's 10 years older than me.
Yeah. So that's like,
Right. So I was alone, he was alone, and she was alone.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you still found, but it gave you time
Yeah,
enough
that's
to
my
do.
baby. I
It
love
gave
it.
you time enough to
Yeah.
do you in a sense, find
Right,
you,
right.
without being okay. Well, I'm taking a little bit from my brother, or you know what I mean, or
Facts.
she take something from you, but she can do that now, right?
Of
And
course.
he can look back and say, man,
Of course.
maybe I'll try that.
Well, and you know what's funny about that? It's about being intentional.
Yeah.
Because I had to make sure to get with Star and show and teach her things, right? So
Yeah.
every time I would come back from college, I would tell her, "Yo, when you go to school, it's like this freshman year, it's like
Yeah.
this sophomore year." And then when she wound up going to, I bought her first iPad,
Yeah.
laptop. You know what I mean? Make sure she had the tricked out iPhones and all. And then when she went to school, I made sure to pull up and go check on her.
So you got
yeah, I had to
that
I'm
brother,
big
but
bro.
also someone is close to you,
yeah,
in
bestie.
age.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that you ain't got.
Because I had to
mom
break
and
that
dad.
gap by being intentional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But and it's the thing, like, I wanted stuff like you were saying like that. My brothers didn't do that. You know what I mean? It's not a knock to them because
Yeah, I
they live in their
understand, yeah.
life. They weigh,
Yeah.
But the thing, the one that's 7 years old was Greg. So he used to like have me do stuff. I think it was for kicks too. It's like, go ahead, do that and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just I was always, playing. So we always played in the yard, had a big yard, nice sized yard. So
Right.
even from learning baseball and stuff, but I was basically a decoy for my brother to pitch to.
Got you.
So and I wound up hitting him. Then it's like, oh, yeah, 4 years old, he's 11. Like, oh,
Okay.
I wound up being good at baseball.
Right.
But I wouldn't know about baseball.
Oh, he was a pitcher?
He pitched and he played all positions. I played.
But
all
he was
positions
trying to
except
strike
catcher.
you out, and he was hitting the ball.
He was trying to practice to left-hand batter.
Oh, okay.
I'm ambidextrous, but certain things I'll pick up.
Yeah.
Like I pick a bat left hand. This is my first time batting.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I wasn't batting before that, so he had me stamped there. My cousins by the road, right?
Right.
So we got into a point where
I didn't know you bat lefty. Okay.
yeah, I can bat both, but
Yeah.
I bat left because I'm like I can place the ball.
That's
accurate
crazy.
with it, right? That's
You
comfortable.
know, Terrence Crawford, the fighter, is ambidextrous too.
See,
That's why he could switch southpaw
that's
and
why
orthodox.
that's why he's gonna win. Mark it down. I'm just saying.
I'm co-signing that. Actually, I'm actually gonna bet on this one.
I'm just saying.
I should have bet on the
he
Errol
looked like
Spence joint.
He looked like he got those wet hands. You know what they say?
Yeah.
Wet, like heavy sludge hand
Right.
type. When he hit,
Right.
he just like he's pounding dudes.
Right.
Anyway, that's what it looked like the last
For sure.
time. But so yeah, you grow up a little faster because you see things mentally.
Yeah.
But you may not do those things, and that's okay. But you know about them, so you're aware. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And my oldest brother, he was all state Delaware, blue gold. It's called blue gold back then. It was all state baseball and football.
Nice.
I mean, he won championship. He's ninth grade, plays varsity football. Won championship,
Shout out to him.
76. But
This is Jinky.
yeah.
Shout
yeah.
out to Jinky.
So the thing was, seeing that, it's like, how you gonna top that, right?
Gotcha.
But
Oh, so it was competitive in the house with sports.
no, not necessarily. Well, yeah, always had trophies. A bunch of.
Oh,
Greg
okay.
had the most trophies because he's baseball. He's
Okay.
he's like home run king, champ, whatever you want to call it. And they still owe him trophies to this day. But but the thing is that
That's dope.
I always used to hold the trophies and hold the balls,
Yeah.
and the gloves, and had hats on and all that. So I had pictures like that, or picking up the basketball, which they
Right.
never let me. They would just block my shot, and I had to go way out in the field and get it and come back, and they done. So it was a whole
Got
bunch
you.
of stuff, you know what I mean, growing
Right.
up. But me and my cousin next door, he had these things too. So we always used to ball and go at it because he's 2 years older.
Right.
than me. But we used to always go at it, playing ball and stuff, not fighting, but just playing. But anyway, just finding your own within, because I had a lot of time to do that.
Right.
And art was one way to express, just myself.
Right.
And I took to Snoopy. I took to Snoopy and the Peanuts gang because they always show that every year anyway,
Yeah.
all throughout the year. And I would just, I like to do things repetitively, so I'll just keep drawing until I get it right. Till I
Okay.
get to it. Because in my mind, I see how I'm looking at it.
Right.
And to a point where by the time I went to school, kindergarten, I won a county competition.
Okay.
And the crazy thing is, to this day, my dad, he'll bring that up. He'll say, remember that man asked you if you drew it or not? Because he said, you didn't draw that, did you? I said, yes, I did, right? And I went and got a nice 5x8 card, and I just drew it right there on the spot.
Dope.
And then I tapped him because he's talking to somebody. Like, here you go, sir. Excuse me, here you go. Like, oh, I guess you did. So he was so embarrassed, like, oh, I guess you did. Right?
He was embarrassed you could draw good?
No, he was embarrassed that he doubted me. And he doubted me, I won. So if I, like,
Got
this
you.
painted here, someone painted this and say you didn't do it. Now you go over there and do it,
Right.
and then you bring it to him. Oh, but me being so young, you know what I mean?
I do.
And that was just like the first time. Started from that point to everything else I did.
Facts.
I was little, small. You didn't do that. Oh, you can't play no ball. This and that. And then I go up there and shoot. I was a kid, 9 years old, man. Because 9 years old, everything changed. My dad used to cut our hair. He could cut hair.
Okay.
Well, my dad used to cut our hair, but I wanted a V fade. So he took me to a barbershop, and he took me to the right person to actually do my type of hair. And it was kind of straight on the sides, And so the guy did my hair. I think I went to him maybe twice.
Okay.
And I said, man, I can, let me just touch the line because it was like
Yeah.
a little, I need to touch it.
And this is with clippers.
Yeah, I had my dad's clippers.
Okay.
But before I did that, there were adjustables, and by the way, there were wall pros, and I use wall pro now, but there were walls, and there was only one clipper he had. There was like the edgers, and that's how they were set up,
Right.
and they always get hot too back then. But
Yeah, I remember that.
so you had to adjust them.
Matter of fact, you just brought me back to Mr. Herbie's shop in Harlem. They used to be hot.
Yeah, but it get to a point where you get used to it.
Yeah.
Because I was always the last one. So I used to be playing a lot, so I didn't want to come in.
Right.
And a brother, I'm first. I'm saying, oh, I'm first. No, I'm first. You know what I mean? So I never, why are you arguing about who's first? Like, you're going to get a haircut.
Facts.
That was my reality. Like, you're still getting a haircut, no matter who's first.
Right.
But you start to realize the clippers,
Right.
and then I have peach fuzz on my, it was always like trying to take the peach fuzz off. Like, you can, it's just that
Yeah.
you're a kid, right? My mom was like, don't cut his curls off. So it's always the little things. But I had to learn how to hold the clippers.
Right.
So I'm holding them, and then knowing that the thumb is very important, right? Because it's a position of control.
Right.
At that time, I mean, I was small, so, and I had to learn how to adjust it. So I started to think like, okay, I'm fading away. How, I had to reverse everything in my mind. Okay, so if I go long, the hair is long.
Right.
I go short, if I close it up, the hair is going to be shorter. That makes a lot of sense, even today's world, right?
Makes
So
sense.
back then, now how can I do this? I had to put it on paper, start drawing and making the lines. And then it was another little technique you should use, like you would like make the lines and then you take your finger, you rub it together, get a little moisture, and then you rub it, and then that's my fade line.
Right.
So today they have different stuff now, but I used to use that as my fade line and see how I want to fade it up.
Got it.
And bathroom light, by the way, is the best. It's the best light ever, unless you put the mood light in there. But it's the best. That was the best place to cut hair. So I had to learn how to hold the clippers first. I got comfortable with that first,
Right.
and then I did my first
Line.
tap. Yeah.
Got it.
And then after that, I was like, man, when the hair grew back, I was like, man, I can
Yeah.
start cutting the whole thing. So I would draw my haircuts out. I would draw from the shape up, how I wanted it to be shaped.
Okay.
And then I would start into the whole haircut.
Like with pencil.
Pencil.
Okay.
This pencil. That's what I drew with pencil. And then after that, man, and I would be in there for an hour, like an hour or two, just cutting to make sure I get it right. That was in my mind. What I saw.
And this is yourself or somebody else?
On myself.
Okay.
So I was my first model, but also I just wanted to look like the older kids, man. I had cousins that would be sharp and stuff like that. I didn't want to look, because I was always around them.
Right.
I had my older cousins, I'm always around them. You know what I mean?
And if I'm not mistaken, your older cousins are from Philadelphia.
Well, not all of them, but I'm saying,
Okay.
like Ron used to come down. He was young, but he was, 4 or 5 years old, 4 years older than me. So he used to come down fresh. He used to catch the bus, come down.
Yeah.
Back then, we rode the Greyhound. We didn't have no Uber or nothing like that.
Right.
Train wasn't coming down there, and still today it's still not coming down there. But he's catch that bus, come down, because his grandparents were down there in Snow Hill. So he's always come up to and stay with us sometime too. So he was always sharp. And he had razor line, but he was like 14. I say, no, he was 13 then. So he was getting razor line then, man.
Yeah, the reason why I asked too is because I wanted to understand if Philadelphia, which is known as a barber capital in many ways, did that have any influence on your style, or did you develop your own style without any influences of looking at other people's regional styling?
Well, yeah, I mean, those were the first like sharp haircuts I saw, and those are the areas that I was always going to. I was going. We was going on the weekends.
You was around New Yorkers too, or not?
No, not as much.
Not as much. Just
Not as
more
much.
Philly. And,
It was Philly, man. It was Philly. They called me Philly Marv. You know what I mean? So,
No, it makes sense because even when I lived in Philly, most people in Philly aspire to move to Maryland. Like a person in Philly, if you say, "Yeah, we moving to Maryland," people look at you like, "Oh, you doing good." Like, that's the come up spot. Just like in New York, in New York, if you move to Long Island, if you move to Jersey, or you move to certain parts of Queens, Mount Vernon, you know what I'm saying? Like these are things that people be like, "Oh, you doing good." You
isn't
live in the
that
city.
mentality? Because you're not going, you moving away. Doesn't mean you're doing good.
Right.
You could be doing the same.
Could be doing the same.
But because your money's going to stretch a little longer, and those
Yeah,
type
it
of
usually
areas.
sounds like you about to have more land or more space.
more better
yeah,
property.
Philly, New York, you just have these tight little box apartment joints.
Yeah.
And then these other places just sound like I'm not moving back to NY. I'm too used to space now.
Yeah, but also that it's a geographic change, man, and that's the thing
Facts.
about I could get in that a little later, but the geographic change is that it changes your mindset too. But your mindset changes before you do
Facts.
that. You just have to get to that point to convince yourself this is really what's happening.
Yeah.
This is what I'm really doing. I don't care what anybody else think. I'm on my own travel, right? I'm on my own journey.
Right.
But the thing about what I did at 9 years old, because it was very pivotal, because everything, it's almost like I went to sleep and woke up and everything looked different. And I seen it from a more mature standard, like a mature everything. Like my mind was like
expanding.
Like you could say, like, now they would call you a genius. So my mind, I read all the encyclopedias like 3 times from A to Z.
Oh,
As a matter of
okay.
fact, people don't know this, but people used to come to your house, knock on your door, and sell you encyclopedias from A to Z.
Listen,
XYZ.
Shout out to my aunt Robin. We used to have the Encyclopedia Britannica joints.
And then they came with those later on.
And then it was literally, to your point, somebody came and knocked
on your door.
and it was like, oh, and then she was like, I gotta have it. And then we used to be in them joints.
Yeah.
So I actually read that whole thing too.
Yeah, so that was my first exploration, if you say, other than watching Tarzan on Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
You know, like that was like the surreal, like Tarzan, because they did back in the little black and whites back then. But that was my escape from where I was at. You know what I mean? And then going to the cities on the weekend, going to Philly. Yeah, I had 6 aunts in Philadelphia. Right. You know what I mean? My mom had 5 sisters in Philadelphia. So from Southwest, West, 2 in Southwest, 1 in West, and then had 1 up northeast, like Mount Airy.
Oh, you was around the whole.
So it was 4 aunts.
You was in the whole area.
Yeah, so it was 4 aunts. So it wasn't no place I could really go. And then I had in Mount Airy too, my dad's sister. My dad's sister, his younger sister. So it's Aunt Carolyn, right? Right. And I wound up staying there when I got out of school.
That's dope.
High school. But the thing was, so it was nowhere I couldn't go, you know what I mean, up there. But also you're getting a taste of everything, man.
Big time.
You're getting a taste of, the party, the street block parties. Right. You're getting a taste of, the house the house parties in the garage. You're getting, even seeing Jazzy Jeff. I might have told you that before. Seeing Jazzy Jeff back in the day. I seen Will Smith. All them. Yeah,
Fairmount Park. I mean, everything. Yeah.
My cousins used to rap. So Michael Cheeks and Robert Cheeks Jr. Used to rap, DJ and rap, and that was one of the things that got me into all of this. But as of 9, everything just changed. It's like the door to everything opened up. Right.
That's dope.
And I'm thinking differently. I'm thinking more mature. I'm thinking more. I'm still shy, but I found something that I may be good at, which is cutting hair, drawing. I was already good with that, so I was comfortable with that. But cutting hair was the next thing. So I said, as I was showing you about the lever here, the lever, right? I made it like pencil and eraser, right? It's of course how much you want to erase, how much you want to, draw, right? And somehow my mind kind of generated, at 9 years old, I put it in that type of mindset. Okay. But I had to practice on myself so that I could be able to cut other people. But I made it hard on myself, and I was in that bathroom making sure I get it right. And mind you, I used to drive like go-karts and stuff like that around, in the countryside. So motorcycles, bikes, driving. So I understood rear view. Yeah. So how I would hold it from the corner of my eye, to the corner of my eye, and do the back on each side. So I understood that too. But I also understood, eyes, and I use those to this day. Eyes, temple, eyebrow, all of that. I use that to this day to cut.
Sound like small symmetry.
Yeah. But I didn't know I was doing geometry. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's math.
Before I was doing geometry, right? But there was a science to it that maybe I got from the books. From what I saw, pyramids in the book, to, the crazy haircuts that you might have seen some of the Africans had. They had the bowl haircuts. I wore those. Bold, V. Sometimes I wouldn't even fade it just to get it laugh.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just sounds like you had enough understanding that what you were doing, there was process involved, theory. Yeah. I mean, this is before even going to get a formal education in the hair arts. Yeah. But you knew enough to put it together like a puzzle and then figure out how to mix it in a way where you were, developing your style.
And you say education. The crazy thing is, we go to Amazon now. One book. We go to Amazon now. There's all these other, and we order our books. Right. You had to go to the library, order your book, and you wait a week for it to come. Right. And you use that book as your manual. So I already did all the books. Yeah. Before I even went to school. You know what I mean? I worked in a shop before I went to school. Facts. I was cutting hair. I had a clientele. I would go to the east side, go to the west side, north side, order side. Right. All the brothers over there, they know me. Daryl, all them, Chad, everybody. So I went all of these places. Right. One day I'm over here on the west side at somebody's house. Right. Next day I'm over at Waterside. That's like more northern side. Right. And by the water, I'm cutting everybody in one house, on the porch. Police coming by. Hey, can I be next? All kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? Okay. But it was more like a more, you had drugs in the neighborhood, but it was. But I was cutting hair, and it was respect. Everything was. I ain't trip off that. Then you go to the east side.
I mean, with that being stated, I mean, I'm sure that, look, drug dealers have a place in the community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they came for a cut. Like, they like to get fresh. They got disposable income.
Yeah. I mean, there's drugs throughout the whole area down there. But I would just go, and I never get, even though I might have been cutting a drug deal. But
that's what I'm saying.
I didn't think.
I hope you was cutting a drug dealer.
No, I was, a lot of them. But the thing is that, well, I won't say drug dealer because, Feds is watching, right? But I would say,
yeah, the street pharmacist.
A lot of people that work with pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
But those are the people that were paying me top dollar at the time, which wasn't really a lot now. Or
the street alchemists.
Where somebody would charge $20, I was probably getting $40 and $50 back then.
You was getting $40, $50 as a kid?
Yeah. No, but I'm saying this is when I was a teenager.
Oh, but what I'm saying is, but during that time is when people were charging like $10.
Yeah, I wouldn't charge them.
No, you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
And I'm talking about in the cities.
Yeah, I know. That was, we'll talk about that as a hustler. In Philly, they call it a hustler. But at 9, I started cutting myself. Then I would cut my dad. And my dad basically told me how to cut his hair. So he walked me through. Okay. You know what I mean? So he just said he likes it a little shady on the side. So then I would cut his hair. Right. And everything, But I listen. Because if you're telling me how to cut your hair, you do your hair all the time. Right. You let me cut it. Right. I'm listening. I'm not going to be like trying to, oh, no, I'm going to cut it this way. Right. Cut it that way. No, I went with the grain, cut it down, went with the grain. He had overly curly hair. Okay. And came out perfect, right? And then my cousin, Donnie D, rest in peace, Donnie DeShields.
Rest in peace.
He wanted to look like Gerald Levert. Okay. Easy. Cut him. Next week, he wants to look like Albie Shore. Okay. This is the funny thing about it, right?
That wasn't really, wasn't they both having the same?
Not the same haircut.
Oh.
But I did.
I thought they was both just curly on top.
No.
But it was like Gerald was like an S curl.
A little more fuller.
Okay.
Albie was a little more like what I have right now.
But Gerald was more like chemicals?
Well, I might have had a Duke back then. Who knows?
What is a Duke? That's S curl?
Texturizer. Yeah, maybe texturizer. Maybe.
What is the S curl?
It's a perm.
There we go.
Chemical treatment, you would say. Proper terms, right? Yeah. It's a perm, but you can also do a perm and limit the time that you're putting it in.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like
I just remember back then, everybody was rocking stuff like this. Like this was not a bad thing. People had S curls. People had
maybe when you was coming up. Yeah. You start seeing it more.
Yeah.
But by the time I was 12, I did one on my brother. Right. Mm-hmm. You're gonna probably get mad if I said, but I turned him into Greggy G. His life changed forever. Right. So
shout out to Greggy G.
Greggy G. You know what I mean? The one and only. So by that time, I did that on him when I was 12. But what I wanted to say before about Donnie D is that I was able to do that even still. Uh-huh. But he had more of a Gerald Levert face, head, fuller, not narrow as mine back then. But so I was able to do that though. Mm-hmm. And he would come up here to DC and party in the weekend, but he'd be fresh. Okay. And one of his times, when his homeboys came and met him over the house, he had a haircut. Mm-hmm. He said, what do you think about my haircut? I'm outside, by the way, y'all. I have a light pole outside, and I have a jack so I can plug in. I had a big old Magnavox. Nobody know about that. Magnavox radio, like LL Cool J, but big Magnavox, 3 speakers.
Boombox.
Yeah. Boombox, right? Okay. Yeah, a lot of people still don't know.
No, you good.
But, so I plugged that up, and I'm cutting hair. So his boy said, what do you think about my hair? I said, it's not finished. But I'm 9, y'all, so I'm going to be honest. Okay. It's not finished. And I just kept on cutting. He said, what do you mean not finished? I just came about it. I said, well, it's not finished. I said, okay, I'm gonna do half of your head, and then you tell me. When I'm done, I'm gonna do half of your head, and then you tell me if it's finished or not. And when I did it, hey, you gonna do the rest? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do the rest.
Yeah, it really wasn't finished if you said you're only gonna do half.
Well,
damn.
Yeah,
meaning, because when somebody says something's not finished, you're thinking, okay, you're gonna do just something real quick, not. Yeah. There's 100% finish, and you still got 50% that I was just demonstrate for you.
It was in the detail, man. It was in the detail. Yeah. And which means a lot because, people used to just go get shape-ups. Right. And then, when they start roughing it down on top, they would just get shape-ups. So it's all in the detail. Right. So you see a frame picture, but you may not see a picture because the picture might blend in with the walls. But if you frame it out, now I see you. Right. I didn't see you before, but I see you now. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? So it's almost like somebody going into a job and they wear a uniform. Yeah. You don't see them when they don't come in with their uniform. But they had a uniform. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up?
I recognize you. Right, right.
What's up?
Got you.
Now you're one of us. But by the time I was 12, then I started to get into chemicals, texturizers, and stuff like that. So that's why I said I created Greggy G, as I like to say.
I got a question. So you said you drew and then you also did hair. Mm-hmm. What made you decide to go hair versus formal art?
Okay. Now this is going to be even more crazier.
Because I'm asking, we interview a lot of artists.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of them, maybe on the low, probably were like, I could do that too.
Yeah.
But they went that way. So
Yeah.
what was it about when you had both disciplines in the palm of your hand?
I think it was more so being too small to cut grass. It's just as simple as that. I was too small to cut grass, but we had bushes, hedges, like that were big. So I just took the shears and just started cutting it. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't told no.
Okay.
It's really simple as that. And I liked it.
But you never thought, I'm talking about to get a canvas and a paintbrush.
No.
Okay.
No, I started cutting and I liked the cutting. That I can create these shapes and these molds and understanding the leaves were round, like they had a round shape to them. And when it grew out, it still kept that shape. It just grew out. But I like the fact
this sounds like the Edward Scissorhands story, by the way.
I know. It's weird. It's weird, but in the same token, it was weird, but I was never taught. I was too small to cut grass. So he was afraid I'm cutting my foot, you know. Mm-hmm. And plus, that was something my dad did anyway. Yard was big, but wasn't that. It was an acre, but it was something he did. And I think he did it for exercise too back then. So he, he just, but it was push lawnmower, not a ride.
Right.
But so I did that, and I wasn't told, it was ugly or I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I did. I always did it, and I liked it. And then that kind of, because that was before I even was cutting hair.
Got it.
So that kind of like I was always too little. You too low. You too small. But it wasn't like putting me down. It was just for a safety measure. You know what I mean? So I didn't take it that way.
But again, so even while you're realizing that you can shape things with scissors, you still never had the urge to return to drawing. And graduated to like canvases and.
No, I was drawing with the clippers.
Okay, but I'm saying you put that away. You was like, I can draw, but I don't want to do that. My canvas is the head.
Yeah, and it was just like, once you feel like, let's say I mastered it, but once you feel like you've like, I guess I grew from it. But I still draw today. Yeah. Sometimes I just get the urge to start drawing.
Like a stepping stone.
Yeah, it was sometimes I just start drawing.
I like this because like I said, we interview a lot of artists here, and I think the beautiful part about being an artist is that most artists are multidisciplinary artists, meaning they can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
But when they find the thing that they like the most or that they're most effective with, they usually stick with it, and then that's the thing that they become known for.
Yeah.
But it's dope that you're saying this because I don't think a lot of people understand some people get into the barbering industry based on their ability to draw. I don't even think they draw in a straight line to how those two industries can relate.
Well, a lot of them just are good at drawing, and they'll draw like designs. I do know people that do that.
Right.
But they can't cut hair. I mean,
right.
cut
That's what I'm saying.
Designer style hair. You know what I mean? They can. You might cut hair, right? But cut a haircut.
Because when I think about what you're talking about, to me this sounds like architecture. And when I say that, what I mean is like CAD. It's like CAD drawing because you're doing it more to detail and the scale.
Yeah.
But based on the person's contours of their face, like everything's specific.
Yeah.
So you can't one size fits all anything you're doing. You can have a style, but you still have to make it specific to that person.
Well, that's the main thing because so I wanted to do that. My uncle did that. And
architecture?
His son did that. And, his son still does it today.
Right.
Build nice homes. I want to do that. They lived in Southern Virginia, so it was more like Hampton area at the time. So
Tidewater.
And Williamsburg. So
right,
they built homes, and 2 years later, he sell it because he got the value they won.
Gotcha.
And he already built the next house, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I thought that was so cool.
Because
mind you, man, I was young. Well, me and my cousin, man, we used to do a lot of stuff. My brothers and them had treehouse in the woods. We had like woods too.
Yeah.
So we had woods next door. My uncle. So the dynamics of this was, my dad's brothers lived beside him.
Okay.
Okay. So we lived off of 1 acre or 40-some acres, right? Mm-hmm. Railroad tracks is at the end. We had property on the railroad tracks.
Okay.
So that's part of those acres, right on the railroad tracks. Mm-hmm. And the company, they should lease out to them for like, every 10 years. Next door was my uncle, was the brother that was the middle brother, right? My dad was the youngest. Then next door to him was the oldest brother. So I got to see my uncles.
Generations,
you know what I mean? Yeah, but he had woods, and the cousins, they built a treehouse, and my uncle next door's woods.
Okay.
But we didn't want to be in the woods, me and my cousins, so we built the treehouse in the back of our house,
Okay.
in my house, you know. And so we had our treehouse, you know. So we were always doing stuff. I built my own basketball court.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And I would build up to the size I can dunk it, and then raise it up. After I
Right.
dunk it down, raise it up, keep raising it. Since I got good in sport, in that basketball as well.
Dope.
So we were always like crafting stuff and building stuff and all that. And I didn't need to draw that out.
Right.
I already had in my head how we was gonna do it. You know what I
Right.
mean? And we just always had like wood and stuff like that. We could just build this stuff.
Okay.
Probably size of a shed, like people would see a shed. It's probably that size.
Right.
Probably was like a 8 or 9 by 9,
Yeah.
box.
But you're saying
we had a
basically
roof
you
and
had an
everything.
affinity for architecture, and
Yeah.
you were able to put that together too.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So all that building up until getting a teenager, and then I started the grooming aspect came, which I didn't even know anything about that word.
Okay.
I started designing clothes.
Okay.
I can't afford what Run DMC had.
Okay.
Yeah, the leather sweats, so I couldn't afford that. But
Yeah.
I made money to cut, and I could buy my own clothes at 12. I was buying my own clothes at 12 years old. I was
Right.
in junior high. So I started designing, and my aunt in Philadelphia, she did, she was a seamstress. She
could
made
sew.
clothes for a living.
Nice.
And so velour sweatsuits. You see the mafia dudes.
Yeah.
So I had her design that.
Okay.
So I would draw them, and she would just do a pattern from my
Right.
body. You know what I mean? She
Right.
made my own pattern, and I had everything. To this day,
So you were still drawing. That's dope.
rest in peace, Aunt May Cheeks.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
She's passed away a couple years ago.
Right.
Last year, and it's getting close to when she did pass away. It's like August.
Yeah.
But she still, even though she passed away, she still had these hats. I had these, those hats that you wear like for golfing or tennis, the tennis hats.
Okay.
She still has all my patterns. Like she still had all my patterns.
Like
and
a
stuff
visor?
I drew. Yeah, the visors. I had all different type of designs. She still had them, but I had I designed 3/4 velour.
Yeah.
all
Visors
that
was
back
big
then.
in the '90s. I used to love me a visor.
Yeah, I
I
had
used to wear it
all
to
of
the
that.
back. Yeah.
You know. So she designed them. I would do like maybe 1, 2, 3. I had like 3 velours, 2 khakis. Back in the Big Daddy Canes, they was wearing it. You
Right,
get the
right,
suits
right,
made.
right,
You
right.
know, New York yards.
Oh, yeah, of
Going in the
course,
village and stuff like that. Because the village, you could find unique
yes.
stuff.
Shout out to West 4th Street.
So you know. So even though I wasn't going up, that was my regular route. I would stop in Philly. You know what I mean? That wasn't my regular route. But, Philly had the Paul Mary jeans and stuff like that, which was hot.
Right.
You know what I mean? They was like tapered. You didn't need no belt.
Right.
They came out like the boot cut, but they
Yeah.
would fly. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I didn't dress like no kid my age.
Yeah.
I had rayon shirts. You know what I mean? I'm dressing. People laughing like, yo, I had baggies when I was 9, dude. I had baggies going to school. I'm talking about grown people baggies. I had baggies. I looked like the kid from Breaking movie.
Oh,
Little
okay,
kid
okay,
Breaking.
okay. Yeah.
But anyway, those designs and stuff like that, that was just part of,
So the
me
everything you
going
just
into the
described was
grooming
customs
aspect.
made.
Yeah, it was custom.
Okay.
And that's how I liked it. That's how I did it.
That's
And
dope.
I didn't want to look like, even though we might have had the same haircut, but you don't look like me.
Right.
Matter of fact, we got the same Adidas, but I got the fat ones. And matter of
Right.
fact, I got the gray fat ones that go with my suede,
Mm-hmm.
Adidas. Or we could have the same sweatsuit,
Right.
but we don't look the same because in my mind, I'm like, I got this going on my car. I did a couple parts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
12 years old, I got 3 parts on both sides. I got a family picture like that with the flat top. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I did it that day. I said, 2. I said, nah, this is a family picture.
Was you doing levels like the Gumby and all of that?
Oh, I did all of that. I did all that. I had like a flat top here, but I didn't have it faded. But I had it faded here.
Right.
So that's like the tint, right?
Parts?
But people wouldn't get the tint.
Was you doing parts?
I did 3 parts on the side.
Yeah.
On both sides, but you only see one side.
Right.
And I had 3 parts. I said, I did 2. And I said, nah, I already did that. This is going to be epic. You know what I mean? It's a family portrait. It's going to be forever. Do another one down below. You know what I'm saying? It was just like,
Gotcha.
and that was it right there. And
Okay.
I did the little Michael Jackson joint.
Right.
I put the little V thing of Michael Jackson. I didn't have a natural V, but I just put it in.
Oh, the Widow's Peak?
Yeah. But it's just trying to personalize yourself, trying to not look like everybody else, and that was the whole thing
Yeah,
about it.
facts.
That's the reason why I cut my hair. I don't want to look like everybody else.
Right.
I want to look sharper, and I always want to look like I belong.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. So, I was born in Harlem and raised between Harlem and the Bronx because we
Yeah.
moved to the Bronx at some point. Same thing, searching for a better situation.
Yeah.
Get out the projects. So I was a Harlem dude style-wise in the Bronx, which is oxymoronic. Like the Bronx and Harlem are cousins, but the thing is, the Bronx is classic rugged, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have, they're not gonna do too much. They're gonna do like a crisp hoodie, a crisp tee, some butters or some beef and Brock's or some
And please
Air
explain
Force
the butters.
Yeah, some yellow Tims basically with the black with the brown top. But they're not gonna do anything that like stands out. They're just gonna be clean with name brands you respect in the ghetto.
Yeah.
But Harlem is flashier. So I was dressing more flashier in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Going to Harlem.
Yeah.
But then when I would even be in Harlem, I would remix that part because I also was downtown.
Yeah.
So I hung out in the village. My girlfriend in high school was in the village, lived in the village. So because I was down in the Ville, I'm more Harlem, but then I'm also mixing that with Lower East Side village energy. And so I was really like a clothing mashup in every area I lived and played in.
Yeah.
So it just became something that was unique to me, even though the element of I want to say the audacity or the confidence came from Harlem.
Yeah.
But that confidence still had to get remixed into something new based on me going downtown and then still being a guy that lived in the Bronx and just putting it all together because I respected all of it. Like I respect the classic rugged of the Bronx. I respect the flashierness of Harlem, and I respected the more sophisticated elegance as well as the I won't say punk, but like this is more of an artsy edge down in the village. Yeah. But you mix all of that together, and that was me. Plus, I love classic clothes. Like I'm not a name brand whore, so I understand what you're saying. Because
so
at some
like
point,
Mantronics, Mantronics had it. They might have had the blazer, but they also had something else fly.
But the thing was, you had to be brave. Yeah. Because to your point, I want to be the flyest dude, but then that also attracts attention. Yeah. So you got to be brave because back in New York, I'm on the train. Like I didn't have a car for a minute, so you moving around.
Somebody like that.
Yeah,
right?
either they like it or it could be a situation.
Yeah, they press up on you.
Yep.
But when you saying that, because I remember Mantronics was actually a rap group, Mantronics. So that was Manhattan though. They were from Manhattan. That's right. That was the only people I knew from Manhattan. Right. One of my friends had like. So I used to trade. Also, I used to trade. So I used to trade skills. So it's like my boy Aaron Jones, called him DJ One and Only. Yeah. So since he was 12, I used to come to his house, and we listened to like Special Ed rap. I Got It Made, watch MTV raps and stuff like that. But I would cut his hair, and he'd make me a mixtape. Oh, okay. And I would just give him the records that I want and he always would mix them in. He was that good at 12.
Nice, that's dope.
And had the 1200s back then. When he got the 1200s, everything changed because before you had to put a dime on the nickel on the my cousin Mike, we used to have to do that. And a lot of people, if they don't know what the real is real was like it'll play all night. You play real it's like a film. You know what I mean? So that's what my cousin Mike had. I just remember that forever. Yeah. But my boy had the 1200s, like the DJs in the studios, and the radio. Right. So he would always, he could mix. And him being 12 years old, 12 and 13, always would mix like R&B. Like what Diddy, basically what Diddy did,
in New York, Ron G did it. He was the king of the blends.
Ron G, you know what I'm saying?
He was always blending R&B with rap.
Yeah, so
that's what he's known for.
He was doing that back then. And I had 12 years old. I'm like, I wanted that. You know what I mean? Right. So, anyway, what I was saying about the style as of fashion stuff, not knowing that was grooming. Right. So what I was doing was I was actually placing this with this image. Right. So I had a long 3/4 velour, cream, rust, and black. Ooh, I wish I still had it.
This is a jogger suit or a jacket?
Nah, this was a velour sweatsuit. Oh, okay, yeah. But I designed it where I had 3/4 velour. It was all cream. It had the rust, black, right?
Like layers.
Layers. Okay. It kind of looked like a snake. It kind of looked like that snake. I forgot it. The snake that's like a copper red. Yeah. Got the name of the snake. But I had that, and then it come down right here, and on the knee, it was rust and black, or black and rust. It was something like that.
That was on the pants.
Yeah. Okay. So I had it like when the coat went down, you saw this here, and then it was cream, and then it went down, rust and black.
And you drew it, and your aunt made that.
I drew it. My aunt made it.
Man, that's dope.
And I had the drawstring too.
See, my mother sewed or whatever. Man, I wish I would have did something like this, man. Yeah. Yo, if I could have been custom like that, God damn.
I mean, I learned how to sew.
You was on point with that.
But I learned how to sew later, but not like that. Like, even like I said, that's why I said, like, I wish she was still here because that would have been something I would have been doing this year. You know what I mean? Because the timing was right to do it this year. But because she was like, just let me know, come on up. You know what I mean? She'll
Bro,
teach me, you know what I mean?
that's like that's basically the cheat code, man.
Yeah, and look, she taught her sons,
Right.
all 3 of her sons, and I tell you, I remember cutting my cousin's hair at 12 because I was just up there at the time. It was a club called Alarm Light. That was like the spot.
Come on,
Y'all had
man.
one in New
I'm
York
from
too.
New York, man. Yeah, I was saying. I thought you were talking about one in New York.
Philly.
Oh, I didn't know about
And
that.
they used to have these like rayon jackets.
Yeah.
They, but they didn't wear that. These dudes made their suits, and they wearing London fall coats.
Oh, okay.
And they dressing like Harlem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Harlem Nights. Right.
Okay. And I'm shaping them up. At 12, just happened to be over there and shaping them up. And I guess that's when I started just taking my clippers with me all the time.
Okay.
12, but I'm shaping them up. And I just remember them going out, man, and they were just dressed like they owned the place. Hey, it's like, we don't even wait in line. We don't wait no line. We walk, walk straight through. You dress like that? I mean, I'm
fresh.
Like,
you getting all the service.
Yeah. So she taught them all how to sew, man, and they coming out like looking like they was just straight showroom. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I dress like that now. I don't have the tie, but I dress like that now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I start to realize, like, you start customizing everything.
Everything.
Haircut first, clothes, shoes. You know what I mean? And then I say I design shoes now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then you got to find a nice pair of shoes that actually go with what you're wearing.
That's right.
Right? But I'll find like unique in my size, as I got to 13, 14. So it's kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
And then you got to make sure you get the right type of shoe because I have narrow foot, so you don't want to look too long, look crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I was skinny and slim. You know what I mean? And I played sports.
Right.
But people might have thought it was weird and all that, but my mind, I know where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
It's not for here where I was at, but I could go anywhere else outside of here, any city outside.
Right.
I'm, like, dang, where you from? You know what I mean? And that's what you want. You want people to ask.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying that because what you're doing, you're creating a cosmopolitan style of your own that is completely built for the city.
Yeah.
So when you went back to the Eastern Shore areas, what were they saying? Were they hating, or were they like, oh, you changed the game down here?
Well, first thing, people hate what they don't understand.
Big facts.
That's like a Nas quote as well, right? Godly quote.
Right.
But it's okay if you don't understand it, and that's what I said. It's okay.
Right.
And when Skids came out, it was baggy. It looked like pajama pants. I had that on. I had a pair of them too. But I also had Paul Marys. You know what I mean? But what the style, cross colors for another one.
I was into cross colors, yo.
Yeah, and I had every Jordan from the 9th grade up till I got out of high school. Every Jordan.
Dope.
Never paid price. I used my skills.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Bargaining.
Right.
Okay? And that's how I did it.
Right.
Other people were scratching up $99. I do 3 cuts.
Right. Boom. He was right.
Yeah.
Money.
Some shoes fell off the back of the truck. You know what I mean? It didn't get in inventory. It's not my fault.
I love that.
And I played ball in them, so I always had 2 pairs.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. See, okay, and I'm glad you said this because we did used to play ball in the fly kicks, but damn if I wasn't at home with my toothbrush every single night, though.
And I wasn't, so that's what I'm saying.
you was on your Dame Dash. I'd just get another pair.
Not still, because I had to connect, but I also, I used my skills.
Oh, you got a shoe connect, too? A sneaker connect?
Okay. These people worked at the place, so I mean.
Oh, bet.
You know what I mean? They say them college boys. I was cutting them college boys. I was in 9th grade.
And they worked at the shoe stores.
I was going to college. Yeah, I was going to college.
Right.
I wasn't going to college to go to school. I was going there after school.
Right.
Playing basketball.
Got you.
One dude, somehow, we came cool. I cut his hair.
Right.
Then
this is what, Temple or University of Maryland, Eastern Shore or what?
Eastern Shore. I'm cutting his hair. And I cut another dude's hair, one of his other boys, cutting them, and then it just went like that. And then I didn't know they worked there, but it was like, oh, hey, I see you rocking the Jordans. I had the Jordans. It's like, see you rocking the Jordans. Like, yeah.
He was like, yeah, I get that at my job.
Is coming out. Yeah, and that was it.
That's love. Can't beat that.
Can't beat that.
Yeah.
And he'd take me and say, oh, that's my little brother. So then, he's cute.
Right.
And I'm in the gym, balling.
Boom.
And I got even better. I'm in college gym now.
Yeah, you could have got the little brother discount. Yeah, little brother.
Yeah, and then when they graduated,
right.
had another dude from UMS.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And cut his hair. Yo, I got you, bro.
You straight.
Yeah, you cut on
me.
me.
All right, so we got to talk about
So-
this. So obviously you went through all of that, and your upbringing was dope. You figured it all out. So at some point you realized there was levels to the barber game.
Yeah.
And to your point about understanding grooming, which you went to the clothes faction, but take the clothes away, you're still a master groomer now. So at what point did you realize that there was another level to what you were doing? And is that next level only about the clientele, or is that next level about the way you upgraded your skill set and then that attracted clientele? Like, just talk about the difference between that, because maybe some people don't understand why you dress like this, like what all of that's about. You know what I mean?
Well, differentiate yourself. I'm trying to say it right.
Yeah.
Just to be different, right?
Yeah.
But you're going to separate yourself from others. It's not that you're better than, but you got to feel you're better, right? You got to feel like you are that it factor.
Sure.
So you walk in. Now you got people saying you're the it factor. I have had people say that.
Right.
Thanksgiving dinners, by the way. But I'm
Right.
saying you're that it factor. And
Wait, when you say people saying that, you talking about other barbers in the industry, or you
people
talking
in
about your
general,
family?
just people in
Okay.
general, because of it could be 1,000 people walking in this room right now, and it's only one that you're going to see. That's the person that has the it factor.
Got it.
I'm that person. So when I walk in, I walk with that confidence, and that's the confidence that I built since I was 9. Supreme confidence. Who are you and anybody else in here tell me I can't do that? Because I have people telling me
Facts.
all my life.
Right.
Man, people telling me all my life, oh, he can't do that. He can't. He probably can't. Boy, he can't do this. He can't do that. That's the type of stuff I had around me, festering.
Got you.
But I'm focused,
Right.
so everything else is around me.
Right.
It become. It don't become.
Right.
Don't become anything else but because
Right.
when I got that trophy, or when I get that money from cutting their hair, or when I come out looking fly, or even when I got older and I go to the club, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock,
Right.
and you know, young lady wants to come out and, you know, go have breakfast with me. All right. You guys all up in there 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, rushing to the club. The party don't start till I walk in, and that's the mentality you got to have.
Hey, I like how you talking.
Be about that. If this is what you do, be about that. But you branding yourself along the way, and you're
Right.
critiquing your brand. Don't think I haven't learned from others. I've learned from others. But then when I ask people, hey, won't you be my mentor? I want to know if you'll be my mentor. Well, damn, man, you're mentoring me.
Oh wait, you saying the OGs, you would come to them and then they were already saying like, you showing me something. Oh, this is great.
Even to
this
this
is
day.
great.
Even to this day.
We like that.
Hey, how my man said, your boy, to this day. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking about?
Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, to this day.
To this
you know what I
day.
mean? But I'm saying, like, it's a thing where it's like, but I'm grabbing knowledge. You know, I'm seeking more. Not of other people, but of myself. So I'm grasping all these things, and as I get into the flow of that, I'm leaving others.
That's right.
So it's like, in a sense, I'm working on a million ways to lose you, brothers, because it's just not where I'm going to be. So when you look at Eastern Shore,
Right.
that was cool.
Yeah. It had its
cool.
time. It had its time.
Everything
Right.
has its time.
That's right.
But I can leave in 59 seconds.
And you did leave.
And I did leave. And then you go to school. I try to go to school up here. But
Up here, when you say up here, we talking about DMV?
yeah, DMV.
Okay.
I tried to go to school up here. My dad, you know, we rode up here, Bladesburg, by the way. And I didn't try to put him down. But it's like the dude had me finish a cut. So
That's
I
and that's a hair school.
Yeah, hair
Okay.
school. The dude had me finish a cut. That was cool. I just showed you. You already know I can cut.
Right.
You do another one? Okay, I'll do another one. Boom, boom, knock it out. You know, knock the haircut out, right?
Right.
Can you do another one? No. I can't do another one, man. I get paid for this already.
Got you.
Because when I was getting
Wait,
out of
but
high
he's
school,
kept asking you to do another one. This is on people's heads?
yeah, this is
Oh,
school.
So you figured he was probably trying to pimp you right there.
Yeah, and then you got I do a couple. Yeah, I finished his and I did a
Like, I
couple.
see you, eh?
Yeah,
I see
you ain't get me like that because I'm already making money.
Trying to pimp me?
Now, if I wasn't making money, maybe my mentality been different. But I'm making $20 to $40 at that time. Well, I done showed you.
Right.
Well, we ain't doing it. I ain't go to that school. But when I first start working, I worked in a salon because the barbershop I tried to go to, which was that one barbershop I went to get my hair cut, they already had an apprentice.
Okay.
So
And just for people to break it down, you have to start as an apprentice to get your master license
not if you don't go to school.
if you don't go to
So
school.
at the time there was the school in that area, they
Got it.
closed it down.
Okay.
So, people mismanaged the money, right?
Got
So they
you.
closed it down. But this lady, Diane Cropper Davis, right? She allowed me to work in her shop. Now I went to school with her daughter.
Dope.
I knew her since 7th grade, Nikki, right? But all I did was ask. All you can say is no.
So you can say is no.
Yeah, but I've already been cutting. It got to a point I was cutting so many people that I had to find a place of business. I can't be going to everybody's hood. It's not safe. It's not safe.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then also school starting.
Facts.
So I wound up working there after school.
Okay.
4 o'clock, cut some heads, maybe to 7.
Nice.
Right? Sometimes 8. And on top of that, I was so good, and not to pat my shoulder, but I was so good. Remember the Anita Baker hairstyles, the short hair Holly Berry, Anita Baker hairstyles.
Yeah.
So she would cut as far as she could with the shears, and then I would come in and do, clean it up. And, you know what I mean? And
Yo, you see, okay, hold on. Halle Berry had me wanting the little short-haired girls at that moment.
Yeah.
I will never forget. Remember Strictly Business?
yeah, who don't? Who don't remember that?
Some of you weirdos don't remember Strictly Business, man.
Yeah.
Look it up,
Go
Tommy
look it up.
Davidson.
Go look it up.
Halle Berry.
And it's funny too, but go look it up.
She was bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. When you said the short hair, I was like, damn, that was a moment.
Yeah, but then you got, and then years later, girl from Bowie.
Bowie. Maya?
With the sisters.
Oh, Tony Braxton. Yeah, hell.
And, you know what I mean? And you
Hell.
had, and then you on TV, you had Nia
Right.
Long. Anyway.
Nia Long. I seen her in a Whole Foods one time in Union Market. I mean, I said Union Market. Union Square.
Yeah.
You're bad.
Yeah.
You're bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And there were others, but we're not going to name them.
Yeah.
But
Vintage,
yeah.
baby. Vintage.
But the best thing for my skill set was going there.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the spot where the dude tried to pimp you.
No.
Okay.
That was just after that because I was looking for schools, but I knew that wasn't a place for me. You know, and it was really dangerous up here in DC, man. It was.
Yeah. This is the 90s?
This is
Or early
this is
2000s?
Early 90s.
Yeah.
Like
early
90.
90s was crazy.
Like 90, at the end,
Yeah.
90, 90.
Oh, yeah. This place was dangerous. This is when it was still Chocolate City.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it was, and Blazeburg wasn't looking. I mean,
Nah.
It's not. It's looking
Yeah.
nice now. It's looking
Right.
like, you know what I mean? Like somebody cares. But because I still go to the gym.
Shout out to Bladensburg. You stepped up,
They
folks.
got a Jamaican spot down the street.
Yeah, that's the spot.
Yeah. So
Shout out to Caribbean Superior.
I'm over there, but
Word.
yeah, but but the thing about this shop,
Right.
because it was a salon, right? I was able to utilize all my skills,
Right.
because I cut women and men.
Right.
So, look, you're looking at a guy that cut his girlfriend's hair for the prom.
Yeah, that's different. I respect this.
She had that stack haircut. I did the L part.
Yeah.
Took the clippers.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
My sister curled it up for the prom. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And then on top of that, that summer, after that, MC Light.
You cut MC Light?
I did
Hey.
I call them icicles, by the way. Now, I like to call myself the original of these points here.
Yeah, talk
right?
your ish, man. I
Like,
mean, you put that together for
because-
the world, man.
'Cause I was a little slim back then, and my ears a little long. Cousins used to make fun. Oh, you look like Dr. Spot. Okay, fine. I'll give you 2 years. You'll catch up. 2 years later, they wanted it, right? But at this summertime happened, and she wanted. So I called them icicles, by the way.
Wait, how'd you meet MC Light?
Oh, through some mutual friends that actually knew them.
Dope.
Lita Ramcharan.
Okay.
She lived in New York at the time.
Right.
And met them. Actually, I met Big Daddy Kane when he first came out, Biz Markie, all of them, because she was coming down there to
Right.
see her family.
Right.
And they saw each other in the New Jersey Turnpike, and
Facts.
they followed her to get to UMES,
That's
University
dope.
of Maryland Eastern Shore.
Right.
So I was there. I seen Big Daddy Kane. I did the beatbox for him in the room where he was doing, like, he was rapping freestyle. And they used to have a lot of concerts down there, man. I was young, but I was still going. My sister's 5 years old, so I'm hanging.
Yeah, you was
Go with
outside.
Angel.
You was
Yeah,
outside.
Go with Angel. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I could have been like 12, but Go with Angel. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
So I went with Angel, but so then I was probably 15 when I met Big Daddy Kane. So years later, here MC Light's coming,
Okay.
and she wanted these icicles. So I did the icicles.
This was she had the short shit.
She had the cha-cha-cha back in the cha-cha-cha days. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I call them icicles. They did like the points.
Okay.
And then the next week, she said, I reminded her of Derek. Next week, I'm cutting D Nice.
D Nice.
And he was DJing. He
Right.
DJ'd at UMES.
This is before club quarantine, y'all. Y'all late.
Yeah, you're already slow. But
Hey, yo.
pause. Anyway,
You know what I'm saying?
the thing is that that was like my first celebrity. You know what I mean? But you know, back then it was just amongst friends. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think like that. You know what I mean? I knew who she was. Matter of fact, I met Lauryn Hill when she was 12.
Oh, that's crazy.
Back then, because she brought her down to go Ocean City. But that's, you know, they went to Ocean City and stuff. You know, the beach down there. But you know, my you know, it's funny because I never really paid attention to my sister when she was doing wigs for my aunts back then. Okay, that was my that was she does hair too. Yeah, but this wasn't my thing. But the thing was, just having the skills and seeing it. Right, I'm looking at four different looks on you. Facts. Every person. Right. Hair, whatever you have, I work with it. I don't really trip off the other stuff. Right. But whatever you have, I work with it, and then we go with that. Got it. And then if you want to do other things, we do that too. But right now we work what you have, and that's just my mindset. So going to this one place Expressions, okay. So I got both licensed. I got cosmetology and I got barber. Nice. So and I had to shampoo some women's hair. I had to shampoo perms out. I had to do I did do the cosmetology. So if the board people came, because people hate. You making money over here. I heard they got this young man over there. He ain't got no light. You know what I mean? So people, they're calling you. That's how. I'm sorry. I don't know if white people do it, but maybe black people do that. I don't know. But yeah, you get a lot of that from black people. But black styles. But I shampooed. I learned all this stuff, shampoo and doing all that back then. So when I went to school, because I saved my money and I paid for my school, and I went to school in Philly, in Northeast Philly, Grant Avenue, up Roosevelt. When I came there to sign up for the school to finalize everything, I brought one of my brother's friends. She drove me up because my car was getting served. She brought me up, but I used to cut her hair. And she came with the blue contacts in. You know what I mean? Had her hair real sharp. Got it. She's looking real sharp. They thought she was my girl. It's like, who was that? It's like, she's like, he cut your hair? It's like, yeah. She said, yeah, he cuts my hair like all the time. Like, it was like, wow. And I probably was one of the fastest people that got out of the classroom going to that school. Okay. It was called Joseph Donahue. I probably got out like 3 weeks. This was a month. I got out in 3 weeks. I took all the tests. And let me ask you this: you could have? Why didn't you go up to Philly? Why'd you come down to DC? I didn't really go. In terms of like the school and then family too, but I just didn't relate. Okay, that's fair. I mean? That's fair. And it wasn't even anything. I just didn't relate. You know what I mean? And I guess after they set Marion Barry up back in the day, I was like, I don't want to go to DC. You know what I mean? Right. That was my mindset. That's the only thing I can remember. Like, and 12 years old. Somebody broke into. We had a family reunion right there off, Holiday Inn over there. Right. So my uncle had a van. He come from Hampton, so it was always Virginia and DC didn't like each other. You know what I mean? Right. So I always had these Baltimore and DC. Well, you said because of Mary Bell, you did not want to come to DC. No, because of what happened to him. Right, but you came here. No, I came here now. But look at it changed. But when you said Bladensburg. I mean, that's on the edge of DC. Right. So my bad. I usually generalize the market by saying DC. So my bad. So you looked at it like I'll go as far as Prince George's County. No, I didn't even think about this place at all. By the way, at all. And I said, like, when I was 12 years old, we had a family reunion at the Holiday Inn right off of New York Avenue, right there. And somebody broke into my uncle's van. I'm like, this place. It was just didn't leave a good memory for a person that wanted to come here. You know what I mean? Gotcha. And then, the thing happened with Marion Barry. I saw that. I was a kid. They said, turn the TV off. You know what I mean? Turn the volume down. Nah, I saw the whole thing as a kid. And I was like, man, that's crazy. And then Bladensburg, which is close to D.C., so the same, and maybe I'm giving it a bad rap, but at the time, it just didn't, I didn't relate. Yeah, and by the way, I wasn't trying to get you to trash D.C. I was just asking what made you come here instead of going up. So you came down further. I did go up. Okay. I went to Yonkers. Was going to try to work in New Jersey, like Hollywood, New Jersey. Right. But I went to Yonkers, stayed for a month. It was almost like, let me just check out New York. You know what I mean? I had friends, so I stayed at a friend's house. And actually, it's funny because at Yonkers, when I stayed there, they were doing The Preacher's Wife right down the street. You went there to work, or you went there? No, I just went there to check it out. I was just there chilling. But what I'm saying is, again, I'm talking about your career now. Yeah. What I'm saying is, once you realized you were dope, you said you tried to get education in Bladensburg. You realized the guy was trying to pimp you, so you were like, I don't need to be here. I'm keeping cutting heads, but I get paid for this. Yeah. So from that moment, what was next to get to the level of groomer? Oh, that's what I'm trying to give people a timeline. Are you going to say from why did I choose Philly still, or are you just? Well, that's why I was asking. Where was the growth spurt? I didn't. It was at the same timeline because I was looking for schools. But it was right. Well, my dad was saying, well, maybe try it because it was still in Maryland. So it's like, just try, over the bridge, boom, boom, boom. And I don't relate to these people, man.
In Philly or Bladensburg?
Bladensburg.
Right.
I
So
just didn't relate.
So after that, what happened?
I went to Philly. That's where I relate. And then I didn't want to go to Tri-City, which is a city school. I wanted to go Northeast because I felt like I cut everybody's hair. All nationalities. I didn't want to limit myself. And I didn't want to be going to a neighborhood school. I felt Tri-City was neighborhood school. Everybody from the neighborhood, that's my man. I'm going with my man. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna make no extra tip money.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
So and I'm sorry, because you got to remember, a lot of people don't understand the game.
Yeah.
You're going a little fast. When you say these things, you're making money while learning. Well, that's what I don't understand. Like when I went to Howard, I didn't make no bread. Like I'm like, you saying this like, I want to make more money. I'm like, I thought you was here to learn.
I feel for you.
He was eating while learning.
Okay, so this is how it went down for me. I don't know anybody else.
Yeah.
I was always making money, regardless. Because what happened was, even though I went to school 5 days a week there, Friday night or Saturday when I got out of school, I'm coming back to Eastern Shore. I'm cutting everybody that know me, and I'm going back Sunday.
There we go.
Or I might leave early Monday morning so I can make it back to school.
You was hustling.
Okay, yeah. And so even on that, you go and you do all this stuff, and you get on. The main thing is to get in the shop area. You want to get from the classroom, get out as fast as you can, pass all the tests, which I did. Then you want to get in the back where you're doing the practicals, you're practicing all that.
Right.
And you want to hear them get your stuff done. You don't play around. Do your cut, bob cut. It looked like a Beatles hairstyle cut. Everybody did the same cut. And then you want to get on the floor. But they say, Marv, they kind of usher me through because they already see my skill set.
Yeah, you're nice.
I'm on the floor. Now I'm shampooing and I'm doing the lady's hair. You had to shampoo, you had to do everything.
Right. So you was going unisex off rip. You wasn't just doing barbering.
Yeah.
Okay. Now my next question would be: once you got past the test and got everything in Pennsylvania, license wise, that transfers anywhere you want to go.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
But check it. Let me just say this real quick though.
Yeah. And I'm only saying because people don't understand.
Yeah.
The business.
One funny thing was, this will bring you back down to who you are, right? To what you're supposed to be. Bring you back down to you're really in school now.
Sure.
First person I do was a lady. My hands are gold. I've been shampooing ladies for 2 years now, right? I shampoo her. Oh my God! Oh, you gonna get a tip, baby? I cut her hair, everything nice. Oh my, I'm feeling good. She don't tip me. That bring you right back to reality. Okay. But by the time I left that school, I'm cutting one of the teachers here. Matter of fact, we had a school down in South Philly, South Broad Street, right on Broad Street, right there, right before you go on the Center City, right there. And I could have worked there, but I felt like I'm not going all the way over there. Excuse me, I'm not going all the way over there. I'm not going way over there. I'm staying in Mount Airy. That's going through Broad, North Philly, going around. It was. And then the guy, his name was Eric. Yeah. He was one of the teachers. He said, "Yo, can you cut my hair? You stay a little late, just cut my hair. $40." He said, "I go there to the barbershop. You cut right in the barbershop.
Yeah, and just to be clear, these cuts are credits also.
No, that cut was money in my pocket from
him. So how do you get?
The other cuts were credit. Okay. That's part of your training.
Okay, yeah.
That's teaching you part of your training.
Yeah, and again, a lot of people don't understand. Like I'm saying, we're not talking to the barber community normally. So I'm trying to make sure that the other artists and people that love creatives understand how you go from a person that figured it out to now a person that can do it legally to also becoming a person that this is now paying my bills.
Yeah. So
there's no delay between paying bills while learning.
No, so what you're doing,
which is dope.
But what you're doing on the floor is your hours. You have to have a certain amount of hours. Right. So if you're on the floor doing your hours, you passed all your tests already. Right. Because you can't get on the floor without passing your test. Matter of fact, you can pass your test, but if you can't do practicals, hard press, soft press, you can't get on the floor. Right. You got to be able to do the basics. Right. And then they get you on the floor, and then they coach you on if you're showing, you're proving that you can do these certain cuts. And then they see where you're best at. Right. And then now they'll send you certain people for that. Okay. But I was best at a lot of things, so I had a variety of clients.
You was able to rock out.
Straight hair, curly hair, long hair, white people, black people. Some people were mentally challenged. I had to do them too. So everybody. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what came with it. That's what came with the job. That's what came with the program as of learning. Right. And you have to understand that. I mean, listen, I'm a dude, and I'm gonna break off for a second because I'm a dude that also created my own contracts. One was at a mentally challenged place, and the other was at a nursing home.
Nice. You created opportunity.
This is before I left the Eastern Shore, and I would go there and cut people's hair. Okay. Matter of fact, I started cutting my cousin's grandfather at a nursing home, and it just kind of moved from that. Then I also, I knew some people that worked at the mentally challenged. I said, "Oh, they all right, they right." And so I went there once a month.
Right.
So I'm building little contracts
Right.
before we quote unquote call it today contracts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm building. I'm
Nice.
building. I'm putting the time in. I'm touching everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm already, if you say celebrity, celebrity barber, I'm already, everybody in my chair is a celebrity. So why am I, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like you were
So-
active. Like
Yeah,
you
I'm
figured
just-
out you found the niche markets to go put your services in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can go the same way today, but it's different.
So
Approach.
how long did you stay in Philly? Since you
I was
figured
there-
out, it seems like you figured out that situation quick.
So I was off and on because it's like I went there, I came back, Eastern Shore, and then I started cutting hair. And I didn't know I was going to be in Eastern Shore, but for like three or 4 months, I worked at Walmart, but still was cutting the same people.
Got you. So you was basically a road warrior. You was
Yeah,
going
I
up and
mean,
down the turnpike.
Yeah,
you
but,
know what I'm
but
saying?
it was a guy that said, "Yo, I want to talk to you. You come cut my hair." So I came cut his hair, and it was a guy from New York, and he was he was a pharmaceuticist,
Got it.
and well, he was known as that. I don't think he was
Gotcha.
doing it anymore, but he had a shop.
Right.
He was thinking about that. I had a lot of pharmaceutical people approaching me,
Yeah.
but I just didn't want to. I was like, I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I didn't know if I was even going to be there.
Understood.
But I was in the area, and I was like, it was like, just think about it. Just you and my girl going to run it. She's in school. Blah, blah,
Oh, he's
blah.
trying to give you a shop.
Basically trying to get me to work at his shop.
I see.
Yeah, but you and my girl going to run it, and
Okay.
So I did. I waited like, what? It was like maybe a month from that point. But I worked at Walmart for like 90 days. I did the first 90 days.
Yeah.
I was doing banker's hours at the shop, 12 to 7, and go work 10 to 6
Got
at
it.
night. So I work, you know what I mean? And people think, oh, I can't do nothing else but this. Man, you can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
You know what I mean? That check every 2 weeks, that was good. And I had stock
That's
for
a f-
Walmart.
you know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Listen.
Before people even knew about stock,
Right.
People like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
So they're talking stocks now. But so I worked that, cut a lot of people, celebrities. Some people, some celebrities came through, cut them. Some famous celebrities. I mean, I don't want to put no names out, but some famous celebrities.
Yeah.
And are doing very well nowadays.
Man, you can put the names out, man. I mean,
Well, I
you
mean-
just want your past.
Yeah, I mean, I shaped and cleaned up Jay-Z one time.
There we go.
His barber came and worked one time too, and then his best friend Emery. I used to do Emery like every
Yeah.
week. So, but the building of relationship along with a lot of other people from other areas in the Eastern Shore that I
Right.
did. I even went to UMS doing the dean.
Right.
Doing people at UMS, students at UMS. That's how I learned about PG County. Didn't know nothing about. I just thought everybody's from PG over here because it's like
Yeah.
I'm from PG. So
And it's you're glazing over the fact that you're part of history because again, and I said this earlier, a lot of people know about the area you grew up in
Yeah.
based on rap music
Yeah.
when guys were looking at that as a market to move their products before
Yeah.
they became other entrepreneurs in the creative economy. And you were part of that in the sense that you, as these guys passed through your town or set up shop, they came to you to get fresh.
yeah, that's true.
That's dope.
It could be like this. Like this is say like I just remember like one Monday, right?
Yeah.
And one guy pulls up with a 745 gold grill.
Yeah.
I know who he is. He's come to me before.
Yeah.
But he's like, "What you doing? You busy today, man?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Nah." I'm right down the street from where I work at.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "You can get me?" Yeah. Cut him 150.
Right.
This is 93.
Yeah.
Okay. So people tell me about, oh, I'm making this much. Okay, fine. Been there, done that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Second turn, got to make it count in a different way.
Yo,
I mean-
$150 in 1993, that's good bread, man.
Yeah.
That might have, I mean, if we're talking about inflation and everything, that's really like $250, $300
I feel like this.
in today's money.
When E came, I should close the shop down before he come. Clear it out for an hour, then they come. I used to I would cut them. Sometimes they had like the Moet. We listen to Jay-Z. In the Moet, Shadow,
Yeah.
little bottles,
Yeah.
put it in a shampoo bowl. We just kind of had the fellas in there, just talking, nothing crazy, just chilling.
Oh, they was
Listening
doing
to
it. They was
Jay-Z,
doing it big early.
Jay-Z vibing, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's almost like, it felt like,
He had a record out then or no?
yeah, in my lifetime. But it
Oh,
felt like, this is what it
wow,
felt like.
this was
So that's
official.
like 94, right? So
Right.
it felt like, it
you did
felt
say
like,
93, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
Right.
I was in that shop.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
93.
But that's it. That time is
Yeah.
when he was putting out the music. Yeah.
So the thing was, it felt like he had 30-some songs, man. To see this just kept
Yeah,
playing.
because I remember I Can't Get With That first.
Yeah, well, I remember that. You hit
So
it
I'm
with
saying- yeah, because he
this,
was
you know what I mean?
and I would have never thought that guy would be the guy that did in my lifetime actually.
Yeah. Well, they always said
it's my lifetime Reasonable Doubt.
Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah,
but
I never thought that we got to did Reasonable Doubt.
And I wish they throw that version back out again because I like that.
That song was
That's
fly.
the meaning. That's the meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish they throw that version. That was my hit, man.
Yeah.
That shot was called Hairbank. That shot was so unique because
It's called Hair Bank.
Hairbank, yeah.
Okay.
Hairbank. We banking in dough. And I want to say Who Kid was down the street.
That was in Salisbury?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right off of 50 East, 50 West.
All right.
But I want to say Who Kid, because I remember buying some white and black labels.
Mm-hmm.
And dudes down in the same plaza, they used to have like a record store. Another dude from PG used to do the printing,
Right.
shirts and stuff. But he went to school at UMES. I used to say dudes from Jersey used to come. They had a store there. They
Right.
sell CDs and stuff,
Right.
records. And I think Who Kid back then, before it was.
Who?
Yeah, I want to say it's like I met him. I bought
Clue
like
came first though.
white label.
Clue was cracking
No, but
first.
I'm saying down there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was always popping.
Yo, if Who
popping
Kid
Clue.
came down there first, he was smart
Yeah.
because he knew New York. Clue had New York in a chokehold.
Yeah, no, I mean everybody. Killer Bees swarmed. They didn't come to me, but they were
Oh
coming
yeah,
through there.
yeah,
Everybody,
East the Shore,
North
yeah,
Virginia
of course.
Beach, you know what I mean?
Well, actually, that's funny. So if
Heavy D,
you
all
saw
of them.
Wu-Tang down there,
I see them coming
yeah,
through.
because remember,
Killer
if,
Bees.
even if and this is now documented based on the Wu-Tang documentaries and the TV
Yeah,
show and
Terror
everything.
Squad too.
But remember, Wu-Tang's main strategy was college.
Yeah.
Remember, they used to jump in a station wagon
Yeah.
and hit college radio all over.
That Terror Squad too.
Yeah.
they was coming through like in the
Right,
motorcycle
right,
gang.
right,
they
right,
was-
right.
That was real popular.
Right, big time.
The thing about it though, like I didn't hang with people.
Yeah.
Cause like I had at the time I had a girlfriend, we just lived together.
Yeah.
But I like I would say, this is what I would say. I was like, yo, I see you guys every week. I don't need to be all in the club
Facts.
taking cheap flicks. But the thing was for me was that because of what people do sometimes,
Right.
you gotta kinda this is what I do over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So I gotta kinda
I
put
got you.
myself in a parameter or a position
sure.
where
Yeah.
I'm everybody's guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? In a sense. Not to cheapen up myself.
Yeah.
But that was a good time. It was a pivotal time, but it was a good time. And it was a time that people see money and they see people getting it. And it was an early time with people rising up to become somebody. You know
Big
what I mean?
facts.
And as I say, I'm not surprised what he's doing right now because he was always doing clothes. He was that nice guy. He was a guy that you come to his house, yo, go in that bag. You got it. Yo, you see anything you like? Yeah, like a Bobby Jones shirts. And he'll know if he's listening to Bobby Jones shirts. Put me on the Bobby Jones. I ain't had Bobby Jones shirts since. I wish I was still that small. That joint was silky polo style, but had the Bobby Jones thing
Right.
inside, swinging. Like, yo, really, really, really good dude, man.
No, that's dope, man. See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, people don't realize how lives intersect, you know what I'm saying, across different ways. Like, you're basically, what you do is lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So you're able to flow into everybody's circumference because of what you
Yeah.
do. And it's dope. I gotta give you my Jay-Z story now because you gave me Jay-Z story.
Oh.
So my Jay-Z story, which is not really Jay-Z, it's more Dame Dash, but Jay-Z was there for like a half second. So in the Can't Knock the Hustle video,
Yeah.
okay, when he's getting shot at and he's running, that's in
I like that joint.
yeah, that's in front of my homegirl Tiffany's mom's beauty salon in Harlem.
It was like brownstone.
It's a brownstone. Yeah, they converted a brownstone
Yeah.
to a beauty salon.
Yeah, it's dope.
So I don't know if it's still there or not, but shout out to Tiffany. So we was young. By this point, I think I was in high school. My first high school, I think, or maybe it was my second. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I was wilding. But anyway, they did a party in that shop.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, Dame Dash, Rockefeller, right? This is when Dame Dash was still more pumping his crew the best out in the city in Harlem. But they did have the Rockefeller thing going on. Anyway, because Tiffany's mom owned the spot, Tiffany snuck us in the party because we was kids.
Yeah.
When we got in, that was the first time I heard "Put It in Your Mouth" by Akinelli.
Yeah.
That was the first time I seen chicks going crazy to a song that I thought would be sexually disparaging to women, but they was loving it. I was like, oh, y'all get crazy to this? And then real rap, Dame Dash, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but Dame Dash had so many bottles of Moet in a tub. Like you said, the littles,
Yeah.
he was just giving them out. Even when we walked, we was in there, he was like, here, shorty. Like, he was just giving them out to everybody.
Yeah.
Jay-Z was outside in the Lexus.
Yeah.
And I remember
Old
him and
white
Dame
Lexus.
was, him and Dame was talking, and then he peeled off. So I don't know if he came in or not. I just know he wasn't there that long.
Yeah.
But we just couldn't believe we was in there witnessing this, and then later on these guys blew. But That's my Jay-Z story, because that was crazy. Like, we was kids in there, and then we was like, wow, this is popping. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, he was a nice guy. I met him at Sean Carter, though. You know what I mean? So, and I'm going to say, like, Jay-Z, he just introduced himself as Sean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't, and when you're amongst friends, that's how it happens. You know what I'm saying?
Should
Ain't
be.
nobody trying to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Jay-Z's that's a brand name for the fans. Like, yeah.
And it very, like, even to a point where I say, yeah, I do a little rapping too. You know how you want to say your little thing. Yeah, I do a little
That's a
rapping.
fact.
I remember with the Fushnikins and all them back then. So I remember
Yo,
hearing them back
Fushnikins
then,
was
right?
lit.
Yeah. So
Das
I remember
Effects,
and he used
all
to
that.
rap fast. I did what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was like, yo, just keep doing it. You know what I mean? You never know. You know what I mean? But he was always saying he gonna make it. You know what I mean? And we believe that, and we see that
clearly.
You know what I'm saying? So just the same thing with with Gil. Gil had a shop, put me in a position to win.
Who's Gil?
DeHaven.
Okay.
DeHaven. So he put me in a position to win, and they just did that. He wasn't even there like that. So you know what I mean. But put me in a position to win, and I appreciate especially that time, because that time was like that was like a lot of shifting. A lot of guys started.
Bro, this is real. Like, I always, every time you tell me these stories, because there's more layers to it. Every time you tell it to me, this is like real history, man.
Yeah, I want to shout out to my cousin, because his name's Pee Wee, right? But he used to have these jeans called WeWork. I'm like, dude, like, we keep it. But that was then. But he used to get me up like 6 o'clock and knock on my window.
Right.
Knock on my window. And that's when I stayed with my parents for a little bit.
Yeah.
When I was making the transition to get my place.
Right.
He knocked on my window, and like, yo, cuz, you cut my hair.
Yeah.
But he always showed love. Now, like I said, 150 here. You know what I'm saying? I just cut him outside in the gazebo at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
In the gazebo, cut his hair. So it's just little shots like that. Because those type of people, my mind is like that too.
Yeah.
But it's somebody always keeping you on a
Right.
not necessarily a pivot, but on a cue.
Right.
Like, while you sleeping, somebody else is going. Getting to life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that kind of kept me. So when I started going to shops and stuff like that, with any shop that I worked at or contract out of, I always would open up. I always had to have a key.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to limit me for what I can make. I can come in 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, you here? I done made $300-400 before you even got here. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, and they got to be stated, because remember I called you when I went to Cambridge, because that was my first time really moving around down there. Like, I just go straight to Ocean City, and everything between is a blur to me. But when I went to Cambridge and I had a chance to kind of like just mash around, that's when I really understood more of the real Eastern Shore energy. But one, I'm gonna say, I don't know why y'all don't hate New Yorkers that came down there thinking it was a lick.
I think it was a thing was because you have cousins in New York, right?
Yeah.
I had cousins in New York. You know what I mean? I had cousins that right down the street from Eddie Murphy back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And Eddie Murphy used to sit on the steps saying, "I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it."
Oh, Eddie Murphy used to come down the Eastern Shore?
No, my cousins
in New
from
York.
New York.
Okay.
They stayed on the street. Used to see Eddie Murphy when he was young saying, "I'm gonna be on Saturday Night Live." He's like, "Yeah, right out here." You know what I mean? But they were older than him.
Right.
So you have people have cousins. So it's just like if you come here and you friends with someone, and then you just happen to be able to make some money as well.
Right.
It just kind of happened like that.
Facts.
But don't get me wrong. They come down there and Philly, whatever.
Right.
You come to the wrong streets. It's like, yo,
that's what I'm saying.
You had to, some of the older dudes, they consider the controllers. Shout out to Donnie White. The controllers and stuff, they ain't playing. Shout out to Walt White. You know what I'm saying? They are not playing with you. You know what I'm saying? We'll send you back. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Don't come down here thinking you're
That's
gonna run
what I'm
something.
saying.
You ain't running nothing. You know what I mean?
I respect
that.
that.
It's a different time, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, but I respect those guys you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I feel like them. I'm like, yeah.
But you know what? You're not supposed to make but a certain amount. You got to go away from that area. You got to go away and come back. Right? You got to go away, go to school. If you go to school, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I was supposed to go to UMES on the buddy thing, playing basketball.
I was gonna say basketball. Yeah.
Basketball, and the day before, well, Saturday, we were supposed to bring our stuff Monday. This guy gets in an accident. It's not his fault. My cousin was driving. I didn't. As a matter of fact, I'm always a lone ranger, so that's why I kind of like. I guess that's why I'm able to succeed in a way because I know when to leave. I know when. So I'm always,
I know the feeling.
And I like to. I was always about like I like to be by myself because when I might stop off to I see your little friend. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't want to be held down or be accountable for other people. And I never liked being in the cars 4 deep.
Yo, talk about.
I thought that was.
But side note, because I'm glad you said this. Every time I bought a coupe.
Yeah.
Big dudes especially would be like, yo, why you bought this little ass car? I'd be like, because there's supposed to be a girl in the front. Man, why you here?
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. That was my mentality is this. People don't know, and this could be a message to everybody that's driving other people. You're responsible for the other person in the car.
That's a fact.
So they don't put their seatbelt on and they get hurt, you're responsible for them too as well.
Yeah, and if they bring something in your car,
you're responsible.
You could get jammed, and you're like, yo, homie.
So that note on alone,
right.
I said, I'll see y'all later.
Facts.
I mean, I like driving on, I go down there to the club.
I'm the same.
And see, it was a club in Pocono, which you've been to.
Yeah.
It's a club in Pocono everybody go to. It's called Lawson's. Mm-hmm. Went down there, nothing going on. I went in the room, yeah. But most of the time, people will race back. So, like, the high school days, people would have, like, they go to Black Mac.
Yeah.
McDonald's, where everybody, all the black people, after
Mac.
the football game or something. So this one, everybody was going to Denny's.
Right.
So people would race down from Pocono, which is probably like 14 miles, right? 14, maybe 20 at the most. But they would race down.
Okay.
My cousin, one of his boys, he had to pee. So he pulls off the side of the highway. He doesn't turn off the highway. He pulls off the side. And the guys down there.
And them roads is skinny.
Yeah, the highway.
You can't play.
This is Route 13, by the way. People know.
Right. You can't play.
So I guess somebody was trying to go around somebody, racing.
Oh, man.
And they hit him. When the back up, nothing happened to my cousin.
Okay.
He in the front seat.
Okay.
The guy in the back, his name was Tony, broke his back.
Damn.
That's the guy, me and him was the one, too.
So that directly affected your situation?
Yeah. We had our papers in the envelope, the long, big
Damn.
The whole thing that we had for the dean. We was giving him the packet.
Did he ever play ball again, Tony?
Not like that.
Damn, bro.
He could dunk eventually again, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Now, we was one, too. You just think of Stevie Francis.
Yeah.
That's how we were balling. Both of us, though.
Got you.
I'm throwing him a oop, he throw me a, we were balling like that. Right. Okay?
Wow.
So
crazy.
that was one, that was one time. But things change, trajectory in your life, and you grow from it. But coming here was time for a geographic change. In 2000, people saying things as the world going to blow up anyway.
That's
so people were like, oh, my God, get your money out the bank. Oh, my God. You know what I mean?
Y2K.
Yeah. So you get to 2000 and you start to think, well, man, where I want to be. So the end of 99, I'm like, I don't even know if I want to cut here, right? My boy was doing architecture. One of my boys was doing architecture, Kurt, and I was helping him out. So I helped him out for like 3 months.
Okay.
But he also, he had his girlfriend and daughter over here, over the other side.
Right.
So I came up here to check it out. Looked at some spots. So I'm thinking about moving here. But I was living in Philly, though.
Right.
By the end of that year, I was in Philly, staying in Philly.
Okay.
So I said, I'll come back in March. And he convinced me to stay up here because I was actually trying to move to Florida and eventually get to Miami. My brother lives in Florida, so I was thinking, stay there for a year and then move to Miami. I wanted to go to this school, art school, so there was an art class back in the play.
Okay.
All right, there's an art school, but I found that the art school is in Arlington
Got
as
it.
well, Roslyn, right? But it was it was like fine art, international art school or something like that. So I wanted to go down to but my mind is like, I want to get away. I want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, keep it pushing.
And do something different. You know what I mean? And wouldn't mind at the beach. You know what I mean? Wouldn't mind at the
Man,
beach. Because even in
never mind
Jacksonville,
that.
they have a beach where my brother lives. It's like 10 minutes away.
And it's not that far from Daytona and all that, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, it's just running down the strip, right? But my boy, at the time, he was like, yo, if you move down there and then you got clientele up here, like I had clientele, people come from Connecticut, okay? So I'm like, he's like, you move down there and then you got to come back and rebuild, right?
Right.
Or reestablish, right?
That's fair.
He said, give it a shot. And I was coming down here from Philly, because I could have worked in Philly, but I was coming down here from Philly 6 o'clock in the morning. And I found a spot, Greek Arab spot, right?
Okay.
Right off the highway, right off 95. Went there, set up, made a living. You know what I'm saying?
Boom.
But I didn't know anybody. You understand?
Right.
So when I came, I didn't know anybody.
Start
I said
from
where I
scratch.
set up. Then I found out my cousin Pee Wee, or like people like that were up here, and then they started coming to me. But I didn't know anybody when I came.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I set up and made a living, you know what I'm saying? And every day, 6 o'clock, drive down, come back, till I got to a point where, you know what, the money's good.
Nice.
And it was so good that I turned down the trip to Spain.
Okay. What is the trip to Spain?
Well, I was supposed to go with my brother and my sister.
Oh, okay.
They were
Like
going.
vacation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I turned it down. I said money was good.
Because you didn't want to get away from that bread.
Well, not it
was rolling.
And, you know, a few honeys. You know, I had a couple honeys. You know what I mean? Start, you meet somebody, you know, you start having a little good time.
You having your way.
And you want to, like, maybe so you can build upon where you're at. But still, the goal was the money. I didn't care about all that. I stayed in Indian hotel, $40 a night, maybe twice a week.
Okay.
And I would go to Eastern Shore, still cutting people. I might, when we start hitting phones, Nextel.
Facts.
My cousin hit me up. I had keys to that same shop because somebody else took over it then. Had keys to that shop. And I would just go down there, open up. It's 12 o'clock. I'm cutting hair. And they can go back out to the club and post up looking fly.
Right.
I done made $300 off 2 people.
That's dope. All right, man, we're going to fast forward. So you put down a dope foundation, clearly. At some point, you've scaled. Now you have products. You only do your own grooming suite. You don't even go to other shops.
Yeah.
You do education.
Yeah.
You do speaking. You got a book. You got a lot going on. Talk about how you were able to take the knowledge you gained from learning how to cut hair, work with clientele, work with different people and genders to now having what I would call a conglomerate or ecosystem that you've created with every single vertical you can squeeze out of this, minus just not having. Well, actually, you do have some hardware that you made too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you kind of did all. You got hardware, you got razors, you got liquids,
I had
solids.
these clippers too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you literally did every vertical from merch to hardware to the grooming products to clothes to shoes.
Yeah.
It's an ecosystem to a book to teaching.
Yeah.
So I'm saying all this to say, what made you realize that you could put all of these things together to kind of service the client and the hair professionals in one shop?
Yeah.
And what are you hoping that people understand about the way you can transition this career into something that's bigger or more as robust as you want it to be?
Yeah, just understand who you are and who you want to be in the profession.
Right.
Because you can lose yourself in the profession, you know.
For sure.
You start cutting celebrities, you partying with celebrities, you know what I'm saying? Things, and then next thing you know, you're buddy with the celebrities and you're cutting them for free. Yep. I know people that did that.
Right.
I'm not. Because you have to understand, I have something, this is my skill, that's your skill.
Right.
They don't cheat you, don't cheat me.
Don't cheat me.
But as you go in this profession, you try to find things that a lot of people are not doing. Like I do a thing where I kind of like see beyond the actual point of where I'm at. I have to.
Got it.
That's my existence. So if I'm doing right now, if I'm 3 months ahead of you, you know what I mean? The people have plans. That's fine. You can plan the whole year out. But I stayed 3 months because I'm staying into the next season.
Right.
You know, right now it's fall. You know what I mean? In my mind.
Got you.
I'm setting up.
You're a quarter ahead.
Summer's already gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got one more month. Summer's already gone, right?
Basically.
So as soon as you turn the page, I'm already on the other page turning it.
Right.
Because I have to think like that.
Right.
In order for me to stay.
Right.
Especially now, I might have to stay 6 months ahead now because of the nuances with AI. So you have to find your own little staple in it and grow from that.
Indeed.
If you're not good at clothes, that's fine. If you're not good at products, that's fine. It's what you want, and you find a lane because there's enough money to go around.
Right.
So you have to find your own lane, and there's a lane for everybody.
There's a lane
across the board.
That's
okay?
right.
But we gotta. It's goods and bads with that. But we gotta take those certain lanes, understanding, merge those lanes into the other lanes to become even greater.
Facts.
Take a little bit from this person. It's like mixing salt and pepper. You know what I mean? You got a good meal. So if you're not doing that, you're just going to be chasing your tail. Indeed. I don't want to chase my tail and talk about how great I am to myself.
Love it.
I'm not into that. I'm not into myself like that.
Right.
I'm into what I'm doing.
Right.
And let that speak for itself.
Yeah.
Because the cut's going to speak for itself. The
Right.
things that I do are going to speak for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to, and I don't know if I hit your question right on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense for me to just sit in the mirror and talk. I'm not one of these actors and you know what I'm saying, I'm facing up and doing all this. I'm the man, I'm the best, I'm this and that. That's cool, right? But you got to have that in something instilled inside of you to know that
That's
when
it.
you wake up, no one has to tell you to get up out of bed.
Right.
I'm up this morning. I'm up 5 o'clock. You know, because you was up.
Man,
you know, because you was up.
I'm always up.
You was up, and we text each other somewhere down the line within those 2 hours, right?
That's a fact.
But naturally,
Right.
But the thing is, I have a different clock.
Right.
Somebody else might have a clock in their mind or their body, whatever.
Right.
But that's how I was raised.
Right.
I'm never satisfied to a point where I'm comfortable. I'm satisfied with what I did when I'm done with the work, but there's more work to be done because that's old now. That's done.
Yeah, like I always say to people, man, ambition is a gift and a curse, but more than anything, it's a responsibility.
Yeah.
Because if you have a lot to give the world, now your job every day is to figure out how to get each of these things in your brain outside for people to consume. Yeah. And that's the responsibility part, because some people that are a little less ambitious don't look at that as their responsibility to deliver creatively. They just say, I got a lot I'm trying to get done. But they don't look at it with the urgency that a truly ambitious person has, because the truly ambitious person is like, no, I have to get all this out. Like, this is not
how I feel.
This is not a choice.
Yeah,
like this is a calling.
So if I'm doing writing, poetry,
right.
I did poetry before here.
Right.
If I'm writing a song, if I'm drawing, if I'm designing clothes, sneakers, right. If I'm making music, which I love doing, soothing.
Facts.
It also is another way to extend the artistry.
Indeed.
It's another way to draw in my mind.
Yeah. And it's another way to build up the lifestyle. Because like I said, you're rooted in lifestyle. So the shop leads people to want to listen to, I mean, the energy, the whole thing is created around you is experiential. Yeah. So I love the fact that you do music. Like when you play the music, when I'm in your shop, it's dope because you're guiding me down a path while still putting me together. It's dope. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and the thing is too, okay, so I like to say this. Yeah. Because I talked about a lot of things, a journey and different people and all that. But I like to say, I'm going to be your past, your present, and your future.
Facts.
In men's grooming.
Right.
Because those past, it got me to the present. And the present's guided me to the future. Right. Somebody I know that I've cut in the past that remembers and said, damn, Marv, hit me on Facebook and say, damn, Marv, best I ever did it around here. Man. Okay? I know that.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? Might even push that on the screen later. And then the present, you got people that I'm still doing. I've been in this area for 25 years. Right. And the people that I'm cutting right now, they know this is the present. In the future, if somebody right now is going to be watching this, and they're going to be saying, yo, I need to Marvin my life up.
There we go.
And there we go. And they're going to make an appointment. They're going to find a way to get to me, no matter if I'm in their area or not. They're going to find a way. Right. It might be a celebrity, or it might be someone in the TV news, or it might just be hard-working dude. I'm for everybody. Right. Because everybody in my chair is a star.
There we
it's
go.
Noted.
Boom.
It's noted. So the egos are out the door. It's about the individual. You come, it's about you in the chair. It ain't about me. Yep. I could show you some pictures, articles up on the wall, and that's fine. I had to show that because it's just part of the.
Well, it's validation.
It's validation, but part of the core. But it's not more of a, I'm that same guy on the wall. No, it's not that. Sure. You know what I mean? I don't have to brag about it. You know what I mean? I don't want to brag about it. You know what I mean? Because I can brag once and mess you up. Nah, I'm focused on what I'm doing here with you. Indeed. Those people, that was a time period. You hold that time forever on this period here. So that's another time period. Yeah. So, but we're only as good as our last, right? That's what I'm saying. Only as good as your last cut. Facts. But also, we're only as good as we allow ourselves to be. And we can't be stuck in the last second to go. We got to be in the moment. Yep. And what we're trying to get to. So. Yeah. No, it's dope, man. Like, again, I have accolades on my wall. Yeah. Stuff I've done. I mean, I think me showing me receiving appreciation for what I'm putting into the world and showing people that I've been appreciated is always something that I think we have to do, because the journey in entrepreneurship is isolating. Yeah. You are alone. It is a long journey, and a lot of people are not going to understand when they're planning their 2 or 3 vacations a year and they're planning the next brunch. Yeah. We're strategizing on the next move, the next play, and the next thing. Yeah. But this has been dope. What do you want to tell barbers that are aspiring to be master groomers aspiring to be product owners and distributors, product distributors, hoping to be educated? What do you want to tell the people on who haven't reached certain levels in your game that are seeing all of this and are like, wow, there's a couple of levels that
I can get to just by hearing your story.
Well, so much to say in a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But
Snapshot it.
the thing is this. You have to be able to be yourself, be yourself in what you're doing.
Facts.
You can't be dude over there. You can't be her over here. You got to be you. And you got to make yourself be the better you at all times. Regardless of what may come your way, you got to always make yourself you. And that
Facts.
would be unique. But as you become you, don't be afraid to grow.
Word.
Don't be afraid to change your lingo. Don't be afraid to change up the area. Don't be afraid to change up, the city you're in or the people you're doing. Don't be afraid.
Right.
Because that's the challenges. You can chase your tail all day. But if you're not challenging yourself, you're not going anywhere. You're still chasing your tail. And we still know people that's doing that.
Right.
You can't run away from who you are and who you're supposed to be. Eventually, sometimes in life will push you to who you're supposed to be.
Right.
Regardless of, and sometimes it has to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it may be good.
Right.
But most of the time it's bad. And it's going to push you to where you're supposed to be, right? This is where you're supposed to be. You can veer off all this time and think something else is hot because for the moment, it's going good. But
Right.
you veer off and you come back to who you're supposed to be. And when you realize that's what it is, then you can be the better you and you can be the best you can be in this profession. And that's when you make a name, and that's when you bring yourself, and that's when you're able to grow because you're able to receive now. Sometimes it takes a person to go, something happened for them to say, you know what, that wasn't for me.
Right.
Don't touch your hand. Don't touch the stove when you know it's hot.
I know that's
But
right.
some people got to check and see how hot it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of us do. And we're the people that's challenging. Like me, I'll touch it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or
Me
if the money's
too.
across the street.
Me too.
If the money across the street, I'm going to grow across 95 and get that money.
Right.
And bring it back. Because that's just me. But the thing is, the question to all the barbers and the lady barbers, are you willing to do what it takes to get there
Facts.
without all this and out that? Are
Right.
you able to just get in that narrow path? Because
Tunnel
it's
vision.
lonely. Oh,
Right.
it's lonely, dude. It's so lonely. It's so lonely. You know what I mean? Oh, man, I just thought you did celebrities. You a celebrity tomorrow.
There we go.
Once I post you up, everybody's a celebrity.
That's right.
So I know I'm making it long, but I'm going to cut it
Oh,
short.
you good.
It's just a thing where be you, be the better you, be the best you can be, and learn and grasp everything you can. You got to be able to receive before you can achieve anything.
Boom.
You can't receive in these ears. Executions always comes with time, but you can't receive in these ears.
Right.
What I'm giving you right now,
Right. The same for you.
we ain't going nowhere.
Indeed.
And I don't want to hear when I go speak somewhere IBS, that's a hair show. A lot of times I go to New York or Orlando or Vegas. I don't want to hear nobody saying, I don't want to cut celebrities. And you want me to teach you? I don't want to teach you because your mind is not right.
Right.
You know what I mean? That guy over there that's working hard, that comes to you, bad, dirty clothes on, he just cleans up trying to get in and get a haircut. That guy might be a millionaire.
Right.
But you can't see that past the disguise he has on.
Sure.
He might own the whole block, but you don't know that because he had to go do some plumbing today. So you gotta be able to just know. I learn people, man. I deal with people. People say, "Oh, you can talk of that." No, I know what I know, and I can talk about that. I used to be very shy, but I know what I know, and I
Right.
take that and I grow from that, and then we can talk about anything else. But you
Right.
also got to be receiving. If you can't receive, you can't achieve nothing.
Can't receive, you can't achieve.
Yeah. And with that comes belief. You got to believe.
Absolutely.
Okay. After that, you got to believe. Ain't nobody gonna give you. Nobody's gonna care if you make it. They'll put a little coin in your can.
That's
if you're
it.
sitting there at the liquor store. Give your cousin $5. Give him a bid. All right, cuz me break you off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know why? Nobody wants to hear you need money. Nobody wants to. I am not nobody's bank. Nobody want to hear you need money. Nobody cares, man. You gotta hit that straight line where everybody else think it was popular. You don't do that. You do what you do for you.
That's right. Stay focused.
And I just want to say one more thing. 'Cause I know we're about to roll out. I did this when it wasn't popular. I did this when it was wars. I had, military calling me. Hey, you can cut hair in the military. I can also cut hair here because I'm cutting a lot of the guys going to the military or
right.
in the reserves. Or, I'm trying to go out with my girl tonight, blah, blah, blah. I'm cutting the guy's hair.
Yep.
yo, Marv, yo, we going over here to the party, yo. What time it start? 10, 9, I'm in there cutting hairs, 11 o'clock.
Right.
Okay? That's a lonely road. But when they see me drive off in the Roddy, and I tell them, I remind them, and that's everybody,
Right.
from friends, family, I remind them, when y'all was going to the club and going out with your girlfriends,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Going out to eat a good dinner, I was in there cutting those heads. Never forget that. So everything I'm receiving right now, it's because I work for it.
Boom.
Period.
Yep. It's Marvin Church, man. Frankly, he gives a damn about grooming. He gonna be back. We're gonna keep rocking out with Marv, man. This is just your first introduction, but you're gonna see this man again, man. Marv, we appreciate you,
Believe
baby.
that.